Are you ready to unlock your full potential and transform your life? In today's episode, we're going to do a book review. We are diving into Brendon Burchard's powerful book, The 6 Habits of Growth. Join us as we explore the life-changing habits of focus, energy, and leadership that can propel you toward success. Whether you're looking to enhance your productivity, boost your vitality, or become a more influential leader, this episode is going to be jam-packed with my thoughts, my takeaways, and any inspiring stories that I'm going to share with you. So tune in and discover how these habits can reshape your journey to personal growth. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. I am your host, John Espinosa. I am your host, John Espinosa, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. Hey everyone, John here. Welcome to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. It's that time again, book review time. One of my favorite things to do is to review a book currently that I'm reading. I get a lot of questions. Hey John, what are you reading? And I don't read a lot of physical books. I've mentioned this in the past. I do a lot of audibles on my trips. So I recently took a trip to Little Rock for soccer for my youngest son. It's about a 5-hour drive, and I put in Audible. I normally search, put in query. It's the season of change. So I put in, what are some great books for change? And this one popped up. It was actually an Audible freebie. They have some featured books in there. This book specifically, The 6 Habits of Growth, was written, I think, in about 2022-ish, I believe, by Brendon Burchard, and it was free. You didn't have to use a credit. I subscribe monthly, and I think I get a credit a month, and this was a freebie. So it was a win-win situation. Me and my son were driving, and he had his headphones on, but I did notice a couple times where he kind of put it off and he'd listen as we were rolling down the road. And that piece is priceless. I mean, if anything, 16 years old, being able to listen to some of this, and even if a tenth of it he puts to use, puts to practice, I'm happy. So let's get into the book review today, because I don't have time to review the whole entire book, all 6 habits. As you all know, this is just my point of view, my takeaway from these books. I don't get any money for reviewing these books. This is just something that I like to do, changes up the pace a little bit, and gives you a little bit of insight into what I am reading and a little bit of what I take away. So just a short, brief little podcast. This episode will be spent on just 3 of the habits that really resonated with me. Whenever I listen to a book or I'm reading a book and I'm highlighting, or even when I'm listening, I'm sure this is very similar to what you all experience out there. There's certain things that resonate with you. And a lot of times I could listen to a book one time, get things out of it, takeaways, and then 6 months down the road, I'll go listen to it again and I get new things out of it. Maybe not even the old ones that I took away. I hear something new. We're at a different period in our life. Maybe we have different life experiences that are going on. I would encourage, just because you've maybe read or listened to a book once, if it's impactful, go back and listen to it again. So let's dig into what I was able to take away. The first thing that he describes is this growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And in the season of change that we're in, you've heard me talk a lot about a growth mindset, about making sure we're not telling ourselves, hey, this is going to be hard. Setting those preconceived notions, those assumptions, right? Those are the things that limit our beliefs, and we are what we think. So if we think that, we begin to feel it and we begin to be it. And that's not where we want to be negatively. We want to think positively. And so this book just fit right in with everything that we've been covering this season. So let's dig into these habits. This one is habit number 2 that he discusses, and it's about focus. So when I talk or I hear about focus, I use the words laser sharp. Laser sharp. I love to go fishing. I don't know if you buy those hooks, but they're the laser sharp hooks. And if you've ever been hooked in the finger while trying to bait something or put some artificial bait on there, it hurts. That's what laser focus needs to be. It needs only be the thing that you are focusing on at that time. And guess what? It hurts if you get outside of what you're laser focusing on. So what does it mean to have focus? And he describes this as when you feel so deeply about about change, about whatever it is in your life at that moment in time, that you will do everything in your power to achieve it. That's what it feels like. That's how I would operationalize focus in my life. So if you are focused on getting out of debt, you're not worried about anything else besides paying off that first credit card and maybe going to the second one, or paying off your mortgage so that way you're getting ready for retirement, or paying off your car, or saving up for a car so that way you can lay down cash on it. That is your focus. That's how I would describe focus when we talk about this habit. And along with focus comes minimizing distractions, getting everything out of the way. I have 7 TVs in my house. Over the past probably 6 to 8 months, I don't think I have sat down and watched any of them. I have one in each room. I mean, nowadays we have TVs everywhere, smart TVs, so they're connected by the internet, cable, or if you're watching YouTube TV. I just don't watch them. They're a distraction. I am laser focused on making sure that I deliver quality content for you. I make sure that, things that I am journaling, topics that we're brainstorming are relevant to you, that I don't listen to any of that. I am focused on providing value to you. I am focused on making sure that we grow this Go Be Great community. That's what minimizing distractions are. And it's tough because distractions are all around us. In the morning, what's the very first thing a lot of us do? We pick up our phones and immediately our attention is there. Immediately it becomes a distraction. So for 30 minutes, I set a timer. I don't look at the phone. When the timer goes off, I go back and I pick up the phone. I am very intentional about that. That way in the morning, I can get my day started without the distraction of emails, social media, text messages that I've gotten throughout the night, whatever that may look like. So I set that foundation in the morning, and it really has helped me kickstart my day. So focus, those daily practices that we do. Start small. I don't want these big, huge changes, because again, that's where we get ourselves into trouble, is we try to change too much too quick. It doesn't work. Compounding effort doesn't work whenever we're trying to change. I don't want you going and working out for an hour and a half when you haven't worked out at all, because you're going to be sore as heck and you're not going to want to work out anymore, right? So you get where I'm going here. Start daily, those non-negotiables, make sure that you get those done. For me, it's no distractions. It's my 30 minutes of sweat. It's my 30 minutes of personal development time and connecting with at least 3 people a day. So focus, great habit to have. The 4th habit that he discusses is energy. And this piece, I didn't quite understand it. I thought energy was like your physical energy, right? You get up in the morning, or you hit that wall around 4:30 in the afternoon, where a lot of times people take naps, and I'm not against naps, but that energy, that's what I thought of as energy, your physical energy. But it's so much more than that. He talks about the connection between our energy, physical, mental, spiritual, everything around us has energy. We're either receiving or we're giving energy. When we're talking to somebody, you see where I'm going here. So it's that energy transfer that is the habit that Brendan is talking about. How do we get that, right? We got to have, I mentioned food, nutrition. It's important for us to eat well, to make sure that we have the nutrients and the energy to sustain throughout the day. We talked about sleep. One of the things that I have changed, I'm a night owl and I'm an early riser. I'm the worst of both worlds, because I catch myself going to sleep about midnight, finally winding down, maybe going to sleep at midnight, like falling to sleep, and then I'm up in the morning at 6:15 in the morning. What's that look like? About 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep. I can't sustain that. I took a hard look at my sleep schedule. So I put down electronics about an hour, supposed to be 3, but I'm calling myself out. About an hour before I go to bed, I put down my phone. I don't get on my computer. I don't check my email. I don't do anything. I'm not already watching TV, so I don't have to worry about that. So I put down those electronics, and it really has helped my mind wind down. Now, I'm not going to lie, that first day or two, it is like you're nervous, you're anxious, because what if I get a text and it's an emergency, right? That's the very first thing. I know you all are out there screaming at me saying, John, I got to have my phone. If my kids call, trust me, they will get a hold of you. Your significant other has a phone. If it is important, don't silence it, but just don't look at it. So if somebody does need to get a hold of you, if it is an emergency, of course. And I think a lot of times we can set our phones to emergency contacts only. So if we do have a set number of individuals that need to get a hold of us, or we're worried about about them getting a hold of us, their call will come through. But I try to silence it so that way I don't hear it dinging and all the alerts coming through. It really has helped quiet my mind. So sleep. And then exercise. I mentioned one of my non-negotiables being 30 minutes of sweat a day. That doesn't mean I'm outside pumping weights. That doesn't mean that I'm out running. It means that I'm out doing physical exercise and I work up a sweat for 30 minutes. That's pretty easy, huh? I mean, that's how I convinced myself to start. It's just, hey, John, even if it's doing things around the house, 30 minutes of sweat, get your heart rate up, has worked wonders for me. I'm not a big workout in the morning person. That's just me. I know that about me. So that's the other thing I think when we talk about energy is know where you get your energy from. Sometimes we surround ourselves with people who may be negative or find really the worst in everything. That's not the energy I want to be around anymore. I want to have healthy relationships that are giving me energy and we're transferring that energy in a very balanced way. Not one of us is giving more than the other. Some days, yeah, I need more energy. I need to receive it. And then vice versa. Some days I'm giving it. I got a bunch. Day is good. Life is good. Everything's going my way. I'm going to share that energy to help somebody out. So that energy piece. And then one thing that I have done and it has helped me so much. I would encourage anybody out there, maybe a gratitude journal. I take gratitude walks. In the morning, I spend 5 minutes. And I'm not talking about, because every once in a while you're like, oh, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my health. No, it can be very small. I'm thankful for my team that I have. I'm thankful that today I woke up and guess what? My shirt was ironed. You see, just the small things. And we begin when that happens to focus on the good things in our life. Sometimes just the small things. I'm grateful that my son took out the trash last night because the trash people were coming. They come at all times of the day. You just never know. So sometimes we miss them. But that really puts you in a great mindset. It gives you that positive energy in the morning when your mind is just waking up. And it has worked wonders for me. Just try it. I promise it's going to help you. So that was habit number 4, energy. And then the last one, I couldn't have a podcast named Leaders Leading Leaders without talking about leadership, as this is the 6th habit that he has. So this is the final one. This like culminates the other 5. But in leadership, I could talk about this all day long. And it was just cool to hear how Brendan talked about leadership. He really operationalized it and he makes it very common because he talks about a leader isn't just somebody who has a team. If you're a parent, you're a leader. If you are influential in your community, you're a leader. The things that we do every day, we lead ourselves. I have a podcast on you got to lead yourself before you lead others. Leader of One. Great podcast. Go look it up. I promise. But what does leadership mean? Leadership is influence. And I'm not talking about manipulation here. I'm talking about influence. So John, what does influence look like? Influence is you do what you say and you say what you do. You hold yourself accountable because how can we expect others to be accountable for things that we ask if we don't hold ourselves accountable? We own 50% of that relationship when we talk about accountability. So that's a big thing. Vision, we create that vision as leaders. We create that vision for our families. We create that vision for ourselves. And then we go do everything. Focus, back to focus. We focus our energy to go get the job done, to achieve that vision. What else does he talk about in leadership? Empathy. I have learned to be more empathetic. When somebody cuts me off and I'm driving home or I'm in a hurry to get somewhere and somebody cuts me off, the light turns red like it's on purpose because they knew I was late to whatever I was going and they flipped the light red. I show empathy. Maybe that individual that cut me off, I think Brendan tells the story, maybe they got to go to the bathroom. That's what I tell myself. Maybe they have to rush home to go to the bathroom or get to a gas station. I don't know, but I can't control them. So guess what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to focus my energy on it. I love this piece. Each chapter is focused on one of the habits and they're 30 to 40 minutes. So they're very digestible. Go in, again, download it, free download and listen. So empathy and then integrity. When it comes to leaders, just think of a leader that you know. Think of a parent. Think of a grandparent. Think of a boss. Think of someone who you respect. As a leader, do they have integrity? They probably do. Most all leaders that I am associated with, they have integrity. Again, back to they say what they're going to do and they do what they're going to say. And then this last piece here when he talks about leadership is resiliency. Being resilient as a leadership habit is very important. We're going through a tremendous amount of change. I can't remember in my lifetime things just being very rapid and change in my work environment, change in our personal lives. Maybe you're going through. This is the season season of change, right? We're talking about that. So how do we overcome? How do we adapt? How do we remain flexible? We're resilient. You are resilient as a person. That's that fight or flight response. It's in our genes, being resilient. And then adaptability. So that's the other piece. Rolling with the punches, not getting too high, not getting too low, those crests and the waves and the troughs. Yeah, we're all going to have bad days. Just don't have 2 bad days in a row. And that will help. That mindset alone has helped me be more resilient and helped me be more adaptable. So those are the 3 that have time to talk. I like to keep these things nice and short for you all. I would encourage you, download the book, go pick up a copy of the book. Short, quick, easy read. And if you listen to it on Audible, I'll be very honest, there's some books I'm like, oh man, the author reads it or they get somebody in, but Brendan reads this. And if you don't get energy just from listening to him read this book to you, better check your heartbeat, because he's full of fire. He brings it. He really means what he's going to say. He's been in this business doing personal development, life coaching for a long time. He knows what he's talking about. Go pick up this book because it's really good. I hope you enjoy these book reviews. I try to do one a season. If you do, give me a thumbs up and put a comment down. Let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know a book that you're reading or would like me to read, and I'll go out and do a review on it. And then if this will help somebody else, do me a favor, share it. That's how we are growing this Go Be Great community and getting others to where they're going. I hope everybody enjoyed my recap of the book, The 6 Habits of Growth by Brendan Burchard. Go pick up a copy and tell me what you think. Go be great. Talk to everyone later. Bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor, click on that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.